Hi everyone, welcome back to Nirja Education. Today we are going to discuss the chapter Playing with Our Numbers. That is the third chapter of Standard 6 Maths. If you haven't subscribed our channel, please subscribe our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. So already the introduction of this chapter and about the board mass rule and everything we have discussed in the part 1 of this chapter. Today we are going to discuss about the divisibility test. So what is divisibility test? When you have given a bigger number, it will be difficult for you to find whether that number is divisible by 2, 3. You have to do the complete division. So it will be difficult. But if you come across this divisibility test, it will be easy for you to find whether the number is divisible by 2, 3, 5, like that. We are going to discuss the divisibility test now. First we will discuss the divisibility test of 2. That means whether the given number is divisible by 2 or not. For that you have to check the number in the ones place of that number. Suppose I am writing 24,682. You have to consider, so this is a bigger number, it will be little difficult for you to do the division completely. It will take little time, but in a glance you can check whether this number is divisible by 2 or not. For that you have to check the number in the ones place. Which number is there in ones place? It is 2. You have to check whether the number in ones place is even or odd. If the number is even number, then this number is divisible by 2. You can see that here it is 2. That means this number is divisible by 2. Suppose instead of 2, if you are having 1 here, then you know that this is not an even number, this is an odd number. So this number is not divisible by 2. Is it easy? Yes, it is easy. Like this way you can check whether the number is divisible by 2 or not. Just you have to check the number in the ones place. If it is even means divisible by 2, otherwise if it is not even means, that means odd means it is not divisible by 2. It will be easy when you are doing the prime factorization and when you have to find the HCF and LCM of the number. That we are going to discuss in the next video. Here we are going to discuss only the divisibility test. Now we are going to check the divisibility test of 3. How you will know whether the number is divisible by 3 or not. Next we are going to discuss whether the number is divisible by 3 and 9. The same is the same rule you have to follow for 3 and 9. You have to find the sum of the digit given. So I am taking one example here. Suppose the number is 1881. You have to find the sum of the digit. That means you have to add these 4 digits. 1 plus 8 plus 8 plus 1. What will you get? 1 plus 8, 9, 9 plus 1, 10, 10 plus 8, 18 you are getting. So 18 is there in the multiplication table of 3 and 9. It is there in the multiplication table of 3 also and it is there in the table of 9 also. So this number is divisible by both 3 and 9. This number is divisible by both 3 and 9. So first what you have to do? You have to find the sum of the digit given, and after that you have to check whether the sum is the multiple of 3 or not, or it is the multiple of 9 or not. Suppose the sum is the multiple of 3, then that number is divisible by 3. Suppose the sum is the multiple of 9, then that number is divisible by 9. Like this way you have to find the divisibility test of 3 and 9. Suppose one example again I am taking 2671. We will add this digit. 2 plus 6 8, 8 plus 1 9, 9 plus 7 you are getting it is 16. So 16 is not there in the table of 3 and it is not there in the table of 9 also. That means this number is not divisible by 3 and 9. Next we are going to check the divisibility test of 4, whether the number is divisible by 4 or not. Okay, next we are going to discuss the divisibility by 4. For that you have to check the number in ones and tens digits. I will explain this with an example. Suppose the number is 6524. So you have to consider the number in ones and tens place. Which number is there in ones and tens place? That means 2 and 4 together 24. Now you have to check whether this number is the multiple of 4 or not. You know that 24 is a multiple of 4. So this number is divisible by 4. I will repeat it again. That means you have to check the number in the ones place and the tens place. Here the number is 24. So 24 is in the table of 4. So this number is divisible by 4. So to check the divisibility of 4, you have to check the number in ones place and tens place. So this is the method how you have to check the divisibility by 4. Next we are going to discuss the divisibility by 5. To check the divisibility by 5, you have to check the number in ones place. If it is 0 or 5, if the number in ones place is 0 or 5, then that number is divisible by 5. Suppose I am writing 1265. So here you can see the number in ones place. Which number is there in ones place? Yes, 5 is there in ones place. So this number is divisible by 5. You know that when you are taking the multiplication table of 5, all the numbers you just see, you can see that in all the multiples, the ones place number will be 0, either 0 or 5. That is why we are applying this rule here. If the number in the ones place is 0 or 5, then that number is divisible by 5. Next we will discuss the divisibility test of 6. Okay, next we are going to discuss the divisibility by 6. You know that 6 is the multiple of 2 and 3. 2 3s are 6. So the rule is that if the number, the given number is divisible by 2 and divisible by 3, it should be divisible by both 2 and 3, then only that number is divisible by 6. We will discuss it with an example. Suppose I am taking 312. First we have to check whether this number is divisible by 2. For that we have to consider the number in ones place. Here in ones place 2, it is an even number. So this number is divisible by 2. So one problem solved, that means this number is divisible by 2. Next we have to check whether this number is divisible by 3. For that what you have to do? Yes, you have to add the digits. So 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 2 6. That means 6 is the multiple of 3. So this number is divisible by 3 also. That means this number is divisible by both 3 and 6. So we will conclude that this number is divisible by 6 also. 312 is divisible by 6. If you will do the division, simple division, you come to know that this number is divisible by 6. Next I am going to take another number, 298. So here in ones place even number is there, so that this number is divisible by 2. Now we have to check whether this number is divisible by 3 or not. For that we have to add the digit. 2 plus 8, 10. 10 plus 9, 19. 19 is not the multiple of 3. That means this number is not divisible by 3. So that this number is also not divisible by 6. So to check whether the number is divisible by 6, you have to check whether that is divisible by 2 and 3. If the number is divisible by both 2 and 3, then you can conclude that that number is divisible by 6. Otherwise it is not divisible by 6. Next we are going to discuss the divisibility test of 8 and 10. Next we are going to check the divisibility by 8. To check the divisibility by 8, like in the previous case of 4. 4 we have considered the numbers in tens place and ones place. Here we have to consider the number in 100 place, ones place and tens place. If that number is divisible by 8, then the whole number will be divisible by 8. For that I am going to take one number, 78,160. 60. Already I told you that you have to consider the number in ones place, tens place and hundreds place. Which numbers are there here? You can see that 160. You have to check whether 160 is divisible by 8 or not. You know that this number is divisible by 8 because 2 8s are 16. 2 8s are 16, so 20 you are getting. So this number is divisible by 8. So that the whole number will be divisible by 8. Like this way you have to check whether a number is divisible by 8. Next we will check whether a number is divisible by 10. How we will find whether the number is divisible by 10 or not? It is very easy. Just you have to check the number in ones place. If the number in ones place is 0, then that number is divisible by 10. Already you know that when you are taking the multiplication table of 10, all the numbers you just check, all these numbers, the number in ones place will be 0. So this we can apply here also. So we will apply this here and we come to know that suppose the number in ones place is 0, then that number is divisible by 10. In 5, 2 options are there whether it is 5 or 0, but here only one option is there. If it is 0, then that number is divisible by 10. Next, one more, the last divisibility test we are going to discuss, that is for 11. Okay, here the divisibility by 11, I am going to discuss it with an example. We will consider the number 1595. So you have to take the alternate numbers here. That means numbers in odd place and even place. That means I am going to make this way. So these numbers are in alternate place. First you have to add 1 and 9. What will you get? 1 plus 9, that is equal to 10. Next you have to add 5 and 5. What you are going to get? 5 plus 5, that is equal to 10. So what you have to do first? First you have to add the numbers in alternate place, or you can say that numbers in odd place or even places. Like this way you have to do the addition first. After that you have to do the subtraction here. From bigger number you have to do the subtraction, but here the numbers are same. So when we are doing the subtraction, 10 minus 10, you will get 0. Suppose this after the difference, after you are subtracting, if you are getting 0 or this difference is a multiple of 11, then this number is divisible by 11. Here you are getting 0. That means this number is divisible by 11. Suppose instead of 0, if you are getting a number 11 or a multiple of 11, then also this number is divisible by 11. Otherwise this number is not divisible by 11. Again we are discussing this with another example. 72,930. This is the number I have taken here. First you have to take the sum of the alternate numbers. That means sum of the numbers in the alternate places. 7, 9 and 0. You have to find the sum of these three numbers. 7 plus 9 plus 0. 7 plus 9 you will get 16. 16 plus 0 you are getting 16 only. Now you are having 2 and 3. So 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5. So sum you got 16 and 5. Next what you have to do? Yes, you have to do the subtraction that we will do next. 16 minus 5. That is 11. 16 minus 5, that is equal to 11. So you are getting 11 here. That is why this number is divisible by 11. Like this way you have to check the divisibility test of 11. I hope all of you have understood the divisibility test of all these numbers that we have discussed here. Thank you all and have a nice day.